Hi everyone, it's Regina with Nightingale Travel Company. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to have you all here. For those that are new here, it would really mean a lot to me if you would like and subscribe. It means so much to the channel and to my little small business here. And for those of you who have been around for a while, it's good to see you again. Thanks so much for being around my page and for all the support that I've gotten from all of you. As I'm sure that you could have seen from the description down below in this video, from the title, this video is about how to pick the right resort category for you on Walt Disney World property. So let's go ahead and dig into some of my top tips and just the basic information on picking your dream resort. So as I said before, this video is all about picking your resort for Walt Disney World. There are so many options, over 25 of them on property. So how do you go about picking that best resort for your family? And so I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about just that in general. So my recommendation is always to stay on Walt Disney World property if that is something that is within your budget, if it works for your family. But I find for families, especially with small children, that the conveniences of staying on property, nothing can beat that. And truly, when you go to Walt Disney World, it's all about the magic and the storytelling. And staying at an on-property resort just adds to the magic, and every single resort has a story to tell. So that's why it's always my recommendation for that full immersion. And there are just so many other benefits too to staying on Walt Disney World property, and we're going to talk about some of those today when we talk about picking that dream resort, because those benefits are different based on the resort categories or just the resorts in general. At Walt Disney World, they have 4 different resort categories, and they are as follows. The first one is the value resorts. Then they move up to the moderate resorts. Then they also have the deluxe resorts. And then I added a 4th category for the deluxe villas, which are Disney Vacation Club rooms that you can also pay cash to stay in. And those are typically housed at regular deluxe resorts, but they also have a couple that are just Disney Vacation Club resorts that, again, you can book them as cash. That's why I have them as a little bit of a different category, because they have more room options at those deluxe villas. So let's go ahead and start by talking a little bit about the value resorts first. The value resort category is made up of a couple of resorts, so let's talk about those resorts right now. You have the All-Star resorts. There are 3 of them. It's All-Star Music, All-Star Movies, and All-Star Sports. And then there is Disney's Pop Century Resort and Disney's Art of Animation Resort. And the value resorts are the most budget-friendly resorts on property. They're the most basic rooms too. So, and they also have usually the least amount of amenities. But you know what? If you are at a hotel just basically for a place to sleep, they work great and they work wonderful. And there are a couple that have some extra amenities that I think are wonderful. So at those resorts, you can typically find your standard food court with a wide variety of food. So like one dining location, and then there's usually some sort of a pool bar that also has food and drinks available. And then those resorts also have mostly bus transportation, with the exception of Pop Century and Art of Animation. Those 2 resorts are on Disney Skyliner, and so staying at those resorts is sometimes a little bit more expensive than if you were to stay at the All-Star resorts, because of that little extra amenity of staying on the Skyliner. It gives you quick transportation to and from Epcot and Hollywood Studios, as well as giving you a connection between the other resorts that are on the Skyliner. And I have a whole video that talks about the different types of Disney transportation and the pros and cons of the transportation options. So go ahead and check out that video. I'll link it down below if you want to know a little bit more about the resort transportation. Let's talk a little bit about the room configuration at the value resorts. So Walt Disney World has been going around and they've been updating all of their rooms in pretty much all of the resorts, like they're starting to get a little bit of an overhaul, and those value resorts are one of those. So they're pretty fresh, new rooms at the value resorts. So the configuration of most of your standard value resorts is that you'll have one queen bed and then a pull down Murphy bed. So you can find this at Pop Century, at All Star Music, All Star Sports, and All Star Movies, this room configuration, which is kind of nice because if you have only 2 adults staying in the room, that pull down Murphy bed, when it's up and not pulled down, has a little table. So you have a nice eating spot. So it's not like your whole room is taken up by beds because the value rooms are so small. And then also within these rooms, they have a nice bathroom. Usually it's a shower, like a stand-up shower. Sometimes there's a tub depending on the room. There are a couple of exceptions to that rule of the one queen and the Murphy bed. And the first one of those is at Art of Animation, and that is in the Little Mermaid rooms at Art of Animation. Those are standard hotel rooms, and Art of Animation also has something else that I'll talk about here in a minute. But in the standard rooms, you do have 2 real queen beds. There's no pull down Murphy bed. And I didn't talk about this before, but the pull down Murphy bed has a real mattress. So it's very comfortable. I have personally slept on it more than once, and I've never been uncomfortable sleeping on that bed as a full grown adult. So it's not just necessarily meant for kids. It is comfortable. But so again, Art of Animation in the Little Mermaid suites, they have the regular queen size beds there in those rooms. So Art of Animation, they have, like I was saying before, they have 2 actual queen size beds in the room, and then everything else is pretty much your standard configuration with the 1 bathroom and that configuration as far as that goes, and the space in the room, the square footage. Art of Animation, as I was saying before, it also has another unique option for sleeping, and that is that it has family suites. And you can also find family suites at All Star Music. So it's kind of nice that at the value resorts, they have this option. And the family suites sleep up to 6 adults. So that's wonderful if you are traveling with a larger party, or you want a separate space for parents and children at more of that value price tag. So the Art of Animation suite features a master bedroom with a queen size bed and a bathroom off of that master. And then in the main living area, there's a kitchenette and a pull down Murphy bed and a pull out couch. So that's how you can sleep 6 people in there. And then the All Star Music family suite has 2 pull down Murphy beds in the main room. And then in the master suite area, there's a bed and there are 2 bathrooms. And then that one actually, it's not quite a kitchenette. I mean, it is a kitchenette because it doesn't have a full kitchen, but it's a little bit larger. It has a really large fridge in it. And it's a great alternative to staying in a deluxe villa, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The next category on our list is the moderate resort category. And this one is just the next step up from that value category. The rooms are usually a little bit larger. Some of these rooms have the option for a 5th sleeper in a standard hotel room. And the resorts have a little bit more amenities. So as we talked about, whereas the value resort typically only has 1 big dining place to eat, these value resorts have a couple more dining options, as well as pools that typically have a water slide. So that's a benefit for families who are going to be spending a day at their resort and who want to spend time in the pool. Having a water slide makes the pool day a little bit more fun, especially for your more adventurous kids or even adults who like to utilize a water slide. So for my family, that's a benefit because we always plan at least 1 resort day. So it's something that we like to consider when we're thinking about which resort category we're picking for our trips that we plan. In addition to having a little bit more of a fun pool with that slide option, and some of the resorts even have the kiddie splash area with kid slides at those moderate resorts, they also, like I think I mentioned a little bit before, they have more dining options. So at most of the moderate resorts, they also have a sit-down restaurant option. So something that you would like make reservations for and have full service, as opposed to the value resorts that all only have quick service options. So again, if you're a family that likes to have a nice sit-down meal at your resort, maybe picking a moderate resort would be a better option for you than picking one of those value resorts. One downfall to moderate resorts, in my opinion, is that they tend to be the largest and most spread out resorts on property. Most of them have multiple bus stops with the exception of Port Orleans French Quarter. So that means that you could have a room that is very, very far away from the amenities at the resort where you have to walk. And the reason that they have those multiple bus stops is so that you don't have to trek it all the way to the front in order to be able to get on a bus. You can go to a bus stop that is closer to closer to your room. And they also have usually multiple small pools throughout. And the same reason is that it's just you're far away from the main pool. That pool usually is the one with the water slide and the games. So if you book like a standard view category at one of those resorts, you may end up having a trek to the main amenities or to the main bus stop. And also having those multiple bus stops sometimes means that it takes you quite a long time to get to the resorts in the morning, because maybe you are the first pickup and then you have to go all the way around to get on the bus. Or maybe you're like one of the last pickups, and then the bus it takes a long time to get there, and then maybe it's full by the time it gets all the way to your specific location. And then at the end of the day, you may end up being on the bus for a lot longer if you're one of the last drop-offs on the bus loop. A couple of resorts I'd like to mention in this moderate resort category that I think have something special to them. The first is Port Orleans French Quarter, and the something special about that is it's just a small, quaint, moderate resort that also still has like the pool amenity and a really fun kids splash pad. And the boat, they have a boat that takes you from the resort to Disney Springs, so that it also gives you access to the dining and the shopping at Disney Springs and the nightlife that's there. You also have that at Port Orleans Riverside, but Riverside is a huge resort in comparison. So that's just something I wanted to mention about Port Orleans French Quarter. I also would like to mention the option at Coronado Springs, and that is to stay in the tower building there, Grand Destino Tower. That has a feel of a deluxe resort at moderate pricing, so kind of a little bit higher moderate than if you were to do one of the farther out rooms, the standard view rooms. But it has so many dining options like a deluxe resort. And the rooms are beautiful, they're new, they're fresh. So that's something to think about if you are considering a moderate resort. And it also has an adult feel. So like on couples trips, that would be a place that I would want to stay with my husband, where we don't feel like we need Disney in your face. And then the other one that I wanted to spotlight is Caribbean Beach, and that's because Caribbean Beach is on the Skyliner. And as I talked about in the value category, the Skyliner it gives you easy access to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, as well as any of the other resorts on the Skyliner line. And again, like if you want to learn all about the Skyliner and the benefits of it, you can watch my transportation video. The moderate resort category also has Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campgrounds. And so that also makes this moderate resort kind of unique. Now that resort is huge, as well as like when I talk about those moderate resorts and their size, but it offers the option for you to park an RV there. So you rent the spot, or you can even actually tent camp. You can rent like a plot to put your tent up, and so you can tent camp. Or they also offer the unique option of having a cabin at Fort Wilderness. And this is great because it offers you a full kitchen at the moderate resort's price tag. So that also has like a master bedroom, and that configuration has a queen size bed and a set of bunk beds. And then the main room has a pull down sleeper sofa, as well as that full kitchen. So that is definitely a wonderful option, again, for those large families at maybe not your deluxe resort category price. but it can be fun. And they also feature like a grill. I mean, if you want to spend time again at your resort, Fort Wilderness is another great option for those families. So I wanted to highlight that as well. The next category is the deluxe resort category, and these are Disney's most posh rooms. They have the most amenities, and in my opinion, the main draw to these resorts is their proximity to the parks. These deluxe resorts, most of them you can walk to one or more parks, and you also have the option of like Skyliners and monorails, just multiple, and boats as well. And they just have multiple transportation options, which makes it very, very easy to get to and from the parks. You don't have to just rely on Disney buses, which again, I talked about this in my transportation video, but the Disney buses are great. And that is honestly, the Disney free transportation is like my main reason for staying on property with kids. The ease of getting to the parks is wonderful. But if you're staying at a resort like these deluxe resorts where you have more than one transportation option, it makes everything run more smoothly, and the ease of getting to the parks is just so much better. The deluxe resorts also feature multiple dining options, usually multiple sit-down restaurants, as well as a quick service restaurant or two. Usually they have bars and lounges and all different types of places to eat and get drinks and just enjoy a day at the resort. I recommend staying at a deluxe resort if you are a family that wants to spend time at your resort, because it is a resort that you're paying money to spend time at. They have amazing pools. All of them at least feature one large pool with a water slide. And at those pools with the water slide, there are games, and all of them have like a kiddie splash area, which is wonderful if you have smaller kids. And most of them even feature like small kid water slides, which for my family, again, I travel with small kids when I go. My son is only 2 and my daughter is 4. And so they really appreciate the small water slides that are, actually, I mean, they can be intense. One of them most of them has like the tube slide, and then there's one that's open. So it's a great starter water slide for your kids who might be a little bit scared. In addition to all of the wonderful things that the deluxe resorts offer as far as just all of their amenities, their proximity to the parks and things like that, they also started at Walt Disney World giving deluxe resort guests an extra 2 hours in the park on select nights and at select parks. And I have found this to be extremely, extremely beneficial to get the most out of park days. I have personally used them on multiple occasions with my family, on trips with just my husband, and nothing beats those extra hours for just the deluxe resort guests. There's nobody in the parks. They're pretty dead during those hours. And my husband and I rode on pretty much everything that we wanted to in Magic Kingdom at the 2 hours that we had in the deluxe resort guests. So things like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, we walked on. We rode Big Thunder Mountain Railroad 4 times in a row. We did the same thing for Space Mountain. So those big ticket rides, especially if you have some older kids or you're going on an adult only vacation, a couples trip, girls trip, guys trip, to be able to utilize those hours is key. They are absolutely amazing, and in my opinion, one of the biggest perks of staying at a deluxe resort. Of course, when we're talking about these deluxe resorts, you have to talk about money, and the deluxe resorts are they are the most expensive resorts on property. So that's why I said that they're great if you want to utilize your resort. I always tell my clients, if you're going to stay at a deluxe resort, you should plan to have at least one resort day so that you can take advantage of the restaurants and the pool and all there is to offer. And even we love the Polynesian. We're DVC members and we own there. And we love on our days off to go down to the beach and watch the fireworks there because, again, they're so close to the parks. We can see the castle from the beach at the Polynesian. So I always tell my clients that if you're going to spend that top dollar type of money, make sure that you plan at least one day that you're going to spend at your resort and make the most of that money that you're going to spend, because it's an investment. It's a lot of money. It's an investment in your memories. The last category that I want to talk about are the deluxe villas. And these are basically, they have all the same amenities as the deluxe resorts, the 2 hours extended time in the evenings, the pools being nicer. They all have a water slide, multiple places to dine, sit down restaurants, as well as quick service restaurants. So all of those amenities are the same at the deluxe resorts. The only thing that is different is that they offer a wider variety of room sizes. So you can have anywhere from a deluxe studio, which is basically like your standard hotel room, just they have a little kitchenette in them that the regular standard hotel rooms typically just have, like a mini fridge and a coffee maker. And then they go all the way up to 3-bedroom grand villas, and even some of the resorts, Wilderness Lodge and Polynesian, they offer bungalows and cabins. So those are like your own standalone little house that you can stay in. And from 1-bedroom villas and up, they have a full kitchen with all the amenities, anything that you would need to cook in your room. So again, these are like the kind of resorts that you at least want to spend one day there. You want to spend some time at your resort, immersing yourself in that Disney story and that Disney experience. So spending the money on that is like, definitely you want to spend time there. And those deluxe villas are sometimes for more extended stays or for your larger families. Those 2-bedroom villas sleep up to like 9 or 10 people. So that's amazing. And then you also have like the option at the 3-bedroom grand villa to host a large party. So those are definitely good options. Again, they are Disney Vacation Club rooms, but you can book them with cash. So if you have a large party and you all want to stay in the same room, that is a great option. So I hope that you took in some of that information and that helped you to come up with a decision on what type of resort you'd like to stay at on Walt Disney World property. But if you are thinking to yourself, this is still so much information, I'm just like lost, I'm not sure what to do, I'm not sure which one of these resort options would be best for my family, my suggestion to you would be to reach out to a travel agent, someone like me. I would love to be the one that you reach out to help you. So for my clients, I first get their budget, and then I will give them the best options that fit within their budget based on their travel style. So working with a travel agent, it's not just plugging numbers into the computer and just giving you all the options. I like to hear, what are some characters your kids like? What are the parks that you want to go to? Because that will affect your resort options based on the proximity to the parks. If budget is your number one concern, then obviously, we'll go for more of those value resorts, but maybe I can give you some options at those value resorts you weren't thinking of. But picking a resort that is best for the family that I see in front of me is one of my favorite parts of planning a Walt Disney World vacation. So if that seems like overwhelming to you, hand it over to someone like me, and I would love to just give you a couple of options that I think are best for your family for you to choose from. So it takes a little bit of that stress away. So if you have any questions on the different resort categories, please leave those down below. I would love to answer any questions that you may have. And as I said before, I am the owner of Nightingale Travel Company. So if you are looking for a travel agent that is completely free that you would like to work with, please reach out. All of my information, like I said, is down below. And I even have a link that you can set up a consultation with me, and you can see if it's a good fit. And we can get something going to help you plan your dream Walt Disney World vacation. And as always, I have so enjoyed working on this channel, and I love being here to answer questions for you guys. So if this has been beneficial for you, giving me a big thumbs up and subscribing to my channel would be so, so helpful. And again, that's just something free that you can do to help me out and my little business. I love so much having you all around, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.